Right. uh, so the last time around, we saw that the home controller has an action called about, and then it has at least two ways in the code, part of which is commented out, which says that it does the same thing as this below SQL query. The SQL query is doing a select clause, selecting. This is a group by query. This is going to show the enrollment date and how many students probably were enrolled on that date. If I'm thinking it correct, it's going to look up the person data. It's going to have a column discriminator, which is for the student. What we had seen in the model classes was the student class is inheriting from something called as person. The person class does not have anything that any column called discriminator, and then this you can see that it has last name, it has first mid name, and it has full name, but then it does not have a column called discriminator, right? It is going to come because the student is inheriting from person. I'm going to close out student. This query is going to return us a structure called enrollment data group. The information is going to match the columns or members of this particular class is going to match the two columns that we are expecting there. One is enrollment date and one is student count, right? Enrollment date and student count, because those columns are matching. Entity framework will be able to generate the data right way, and then we are going to have an enumerable collection here, which will be sent to the view later on, and then the view is going to render the data in a tabular format. What I want changed here is that I don't want this query to be generated dynamically. I don't want this particular function to know how to convert the result from the database into a view model. If I remember correctly, this is coming from a folder called view model, and this is right. There's a file called enrollment data group.cs, and it is inside the view models. If I right click, go to view, I see that it is Contoso University view models, the enrollment group, and then there is a header, a row, and then we run through the entire collection, which is the model, which is the data that is getting passed in the about controller. All right. Before we do this, before I start fixing this particular function, I'm pretty sure that we will require an implementation of the test case. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hit new project. I'm going to add a test project here. So let me select, I think I've clicked a little too fast. Let me click MS test project, a unit test project, and a next unit project. Depending on your preferred way of testing, you can select the template that you want. Because this is a .NET Framework application, I'm gonna stick to the only template that I see for .NET Framework, which is unit test project. I'm gonna hit next, and it says Contoso University .tests. I'm gonna hit create. Now there are multiple strategies that you can adopt depending on what kind of test case you want. Because I am going to test the home controller, right? I'm going to copy this name from here. I'm going to collapse everything, go to the test project, rename this to home controller tests. Right. This is the